Hey everybody, I wanted to do a video on how to not screw up your body composition scan, since I just had this conversation again with another member, and we've done this now over, I don't know how many times over the last 4 years. So here are my thoughts on that. First, let me start off with what we do with our body scan. So right here, we have our InBody 230 machine. That is what we use for body scans. We do that to check somebody's body composition, what their muscle mass, water weight, body fat is, and as we make progress for people, as they see their muscle mass go up and their body fat go down, their bathroom scale may not actually show that progress. It just shows that it's flat. And then coming back to this scale, doing a composition scan, we can see how they've actually improved their body composition by increasing muscle mass and losing body fat, sometimes at the same time. We've tested that against multiple different other handheld and store-bought scales, and they're wildly inaccurate compared to this. So this, well, it's like almost $6,000 bucks, so it was a big investment, not something that most small gyms can have, but it's definitely been worth it for us. When I got it, the company was very clear walking me through the process for what not to do. And so, of course, I went out and tested all those things to see how much they really mattered. Some of the things like don't work out or shower right before you do it, because your skin will still be clammy and your body temperature will be raised. I didn't find it affect it that much. I'd still recommend not doing that, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be in terms of the accuracy. Another one they talked about was drinking or eating right before it. And that one made a decent amount of sense. So if you immediately put in 16 ounces of food or water in your stomach, immediately the way the body scan works, it's going to read it as body fat. And so if you don't want to look like you've added some body fat quickly before you're scanned, don't do that. But I'm going to tell you there's a little bit of a difference, or actually a pretty meaningful one, between whether it's water or food. So if you just drink water, like 16 ounces of water, right away stepping on the scale, it's going to show that you've added 1 pound of fat. But over the next 30 to 60 minutes, as that water gets absorbed into your body, it's going to show that you now have more water weight and maybe even some more muscle mass, because muscle is mostly made up of water. And if you were a bit dehydrated and your muscles were a little flat, that's where it's going to go. So that's not a bad thing. But food, that was the fascinating one, and that's the mistake we've seen a lot of people make. So I tested it by actually, it wasn't food necessarily, it was a protein shake, so it's something that had to be digested. But I drank a 16-ounce protein shake with fruits and vegetables in it, and right away it said it was up 1 pound, as I expected. But it was over the next 1 hour that I saw something fascinating. My body fat started to go up as I kept getting back on the scale every 15 minutes. My body fat was going up, and my water weight and muscle mass was going down at the same amount. And so, of course, I immediately freaked out. I thought our high-end, really expensive scale was broken. I called the company and yelled at them. They got me on a conference call with their technicians to walk me through exactly how it works, and they explained what was happening. When you eat something that needs to be digested, your body will bring water from other cells, including muscle cells, into your stomach to help create digestive fluids. During that period, then, your body fat on the scale is going to look like it's gone up, and your muscle mass and water weight is going down. So lean mass down, body fat up. And that happens over the next, I don't know how many hours it was before it finally started to move back in the other direction. But if you've just eaten something, or if you've even eaten something an hour or two earlier and your body's still digesting it, it's still in your stomach, and your stomach's brought water into it to help create those digestive fluids, it's going to throw the read off. So we've had that several times now. Somebody comes in really disappointed to see that it looks like they've increased their body fat since their last scan, and then we tell them to come back the next day on a truly empty stomach, and it's flipped around. And now that they see their body mass is what it was supposed to be or what they'd hoped for, they're much happier. So if you want to get an accurate read on that scale, if you're doing it with us, or if you have access to this anywhere else and you're doing it, please, please, please make sure you do it first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. It's going to make a huge difference for you. Hope that helps. I'll see you.